Hey, what's up, everyone? And welcome to another episode of Swin Picks. Now, on today's episode, we're going to be discussing two mics. One is a $100 mic, which is the Rode Podmic, and the other is a $35 mic, which is the Zingyou 007. Now, we're going to compare the two mics. A lot of you may not want to invest in a very expensive microphone, which both of them are reasonably a price for the money. First of all, being the Rode Podmic, which is only $100, you get so much out of this mic. In fact, this is the mic that I'm talking to you on right now as we speak. Now, let's go ahead and get this thing started. But before we get started, if you guys don't mind, please hit that like button. And it really means a lot if you could really subscribe and help me on my channel. With that being said, let's get started. So I'm going to start off here with the Zingyou 007. Now I'm about, I want to say 5 inches away from this mic. With all of my balances set directly in the center on my mixer board, this is what the Zingyou 007 sounds like. This is what the Zingyou 007 sounds like. And this is with all of my, the balance just centered straight down the middle on my mixer board. This is what it sounds like in the raw. And this is what the Rode Podmic sounds like with the same settings. Now, I haven't set it to my likings. Once again, this is the Rode Podmic. And this is the Zingyou 007. Okay, so what you just saw was a comparison between the Rode Podmic and the Zingyou 007 on my mixer board, and all of my balances, my dials were balanced. They were both on the same balance, same gain, and you heard the difference. There's a distinct difference between the two. The Rode Podmic, as you recognize, was a lot lower in just the same settings than the Zingyou 007. Okay, now I'm speaking to you now on the Rode Podmic, which is my mic of choice. And I'll tell you why I like that, the Rode Podmic, and why I choose it later. But right now, you've heard the difference between the two mics. The gain is much lower, set on the same gain on the Rode Podmic. Now, with that being said, what I'm going to show you now is how I would set it up on my mixer board, which is just a Yamaha mixer board, and what I would do with each mic. Now, this is where it gets interesting. $100 mic, $35 mic, okay? Now, I'm going to make my mics do what they do regardless, all right? I'm going to make them sound the way that they are supposed to sound. And so just like the mic that you're listening to right now, yeah, I want all of my mics to sound the same if possible. So with that being said, this is how I have changed the balances on my mixer board. And again, I have the Yamaha mixer board. In fact, this is my Yamaha mixer board right here. This is what I have, and this is all I'm using. Now, outside of this, now I am using, just so you know, I do have the Rodecaster Pro, which this mic is running through, and that Rodecaster Pro is running through my mixer board, okay? So that's the difference there. You don't necessarily need the Rodecaster Pro, because what you're going to see now is this mic in just the regular mixer board, as well as this mic in the regular mixer board. And keep in mind that if you do have a condenser mic, which is like the Zingyou 007, you must have phantom power. You must have phantom power. Now, with that being said, let's move forward. Okay, now, this, if the Zingyou 007 was the only mic that I had, this is how I would have it set up on my mixer board. It doesn't sound too bad. I could deal with this. And again, this is the $30 mic. If you pay $35, you can actually get a bundle. How about that, right? Anyway, this is how I would have this mic sounding if this was the only mic that I had. And this, again, is the more inexpensive mic. But this is what you can get out of it if you have something as simple as a mixer board. And that's what I have done with the Zingyou 007. So now, we're on the Rode Podmic. This is what I would probably do to get this sounding to my likings. And as you can see, there's not much of a difference. I'm going to let you be the judge of that, whether you're listening to this in your phone, on your laptop, in your earphones. Just kind of compare. You can still hear the closest because I had to turn it up so loud. Now, granted, my other mic, which is the other Rode Pod mic I have here on the boom arm, I have that pretty much where I want it because I want you to see me when I'm speaking to you, especially on my talk show. I don't want to be hidden behind the microphone or anything like that. So this is probably where I would have the Rode Pod mic. So you tell me if you like the Rode Pod mic, this sounds any different from the way that I have it set up with the Zingyou 007. All right. Again, let's do it this way. This is the Rode Pod mic. Okay, and this is the Zingyou 007. Rode Pod mic, Zingyou 007. Rode Pod mic, Zingyou 007. Okay, so now that we have done our comparison between the Rode Pod mic, which cost $100, and the Zingyou 007, which cost about $35, and that comes in a bundle, by the way. And that bundle includes like a boom arm. It's similar to this one. Your shock mount, even this nice little filter on top there. All of that comes for $35. So, in conclusion, I just want to say that I don't have anything bad to say about the Zingyou 007 because as long as you have a mixer board, you could possibly get that mic to sounding the way that you want that mic to sound. At the end of the day, I'm going to choose the better mic for me is definitely the Rode Pod mic. And the reason why I'm saying the Rode Pod mic is because the sound is richer and it has a lot more depth to it than the Zingyou 007. However, I'm not taking anything away from the Zingyou 007. If you are limited on funds, this is an excellent investment. Just remember, you're going to want some type of interface. I was using my Yamaha mixer, and you're going to definitely want to have some type of interface. The mixer, I had my highs and my lows, so I can kind of balance that, get it right to where I want it, and to get the sound out of it that I want to get out of it. And again, if you want to know the exact kind, I'll put it up here right now. It's the MG10XU Yamaha speaker, to be exact. I'll put a link below for that as well. But yeah, that it made all the difference in the world on the Zingyou 007. And it does as well on the Rode Podmic. And keep in mind, this Rode Podmic set on the same settings was a whole lot lower. Now, I've heard a lot of people who do have the Rode Podmic say that they have had to go and invest in a cloud lifter. And I'm here to tell you, you don't need a cloud lifter. As long as you have a mixer board, you don't need a cloud lifter. That'll be on another show. I will explain that to you guys. Just make sure that you don't forget to subscribe, please. That helps. And like my video here. But please subscribe to my channel on Sweden Picks. With that being said, thank you. And we will see you next time. Peace.